The alarm goes off. Brain opens one eye. And immediately, before brain has said a single word, before brain has moved a single muscle, the lies begin. Lie number 1. 5 more minutes won't hurt. Lie number 2. I'm too tired for this. Today is going to be terrible. Lie number 3. I'll feel better after I check my phone. Lie number 4. I don't have time to do anything meaningful today. Lie number 5. I was always bad at mornings. This is just who I am. Brain believes all of them, every single morning, without questioning a single one. And then brain spends the rest of the day living inside the reality those lies created. Here is the thing brain doesn't know yet. Those thoughts aren't insights. They're not self-awareness. They're not even brain talking. They are chemical. They are biological. They are the predictable output of a brain that just woke up and hasn't told the truth yet. And today, brain is going to find out exactly what is happening in those first minutes after waking up. What the lies actually are, why brain believes them, and how to stop letting the worst version of brain's chemistry decide what kind of day brain is going to have. Brain wakes up, and brain assumes it is fully online. It is not. The brain does not go from asleep to awake like flipping a light switch. It goes from asleep to awake like an old computer starting up. Slowly, with a lot of loading screens, and several things still not working properly. The scientific name for this is sleep inertia. Sleep inertia is the groggy, foggy, confused, heavy state that brain is in for anywhere between 15 minutes and 2 full hours after waking up. During sleep inertia, brain's prefrontal cortex, the part responsible for rational thinking, clear judgment, and accurate self-assessment, is still offline. Not fully online, not warming up, offline. Which means the part of brain that would normally say, wait, let me think about this clearly, is not there yet. And the parts of brain that are already awake, the emotional parts, the threat-detecting parts, the fear-based survival mode parts, those wake up first. So brain is sitting there in the first minutes of the morning with its emotional alarm system fully active, and its rational thinking system completely absent. And brain wonders why mornings feel so dark. That is not brain being honest about life. That is brain being half-assembled and drawing conclusions anyway. Brain has chemicals, many chemicals, and in the morning, they are all over the place. Here is what is actually happening in brain's chemistry lab at 7 a.m. Chemical 1, cortisol. Cortisol is brain's natural alarm system. It rises in the morning to help brain wake up. This is actually a good thing. It's called the cortisol awakening response. But here's the problem. When brain wakes up to an alarm, especially an alarm that cuts off sleep mid-cycle, cortisol spikes fast and hard. Too much cortisol at once makes brain feel on edge, irritable, vaguely threatened, like something is already wrong and the day hasn't even started. Brain interprets this chemical spike as a feeling, and then brain builds a story around that feeling. I'm stressed. Today is going to be hard. I already don't want to do this. The story feels true because the feeling is real, but the feeling is just chemistry, not reality. Chemical 2, adenosine. Adenosine is the sleep pressure chemical. It builds up all day while brain is awake and creates the drive to sleep. During sleep, adenosine clears. But if brain didn't sleep enough, adenosine is still partially present when brain wakes up, which makes brain feel heavy, unmotivated, like the body is made of wet sand. Brain feels this heaviness and concludes, I'm exhausted. I can't do anything today. I need more sleep. I need to lie here forever. That conclusion feels logical, but it is largely just residual adenosine that clears within 30 to 45 minutes of being awake and moving. Brain is making permanent decisions based on a temporary chemical. Chemical 3, dopamine, at its lowest. Dopamine is brain's motivation chemical, its drive, its enthusiasm, its sense of, yes, I want to do things. In the morning, dopamine levels are at their lowest point of the day, which means brain wakes up with the least amount of motivation it will have at any point in the next 16 hours. And brain uses that low motivation moment to decide whether it wants to exercise, work on something meaningful, or pursue anything it actually cares about. Brain decides no, obviously. Not because the answer is no, because the chemistry says no. This is the morning lie. Brain is not reading reality in the morning. Brain is reading its own worst chemistry and calling it truth. Now brain knows where they come from. Let's name them properly. Lie 1. 5 more minutes. Brain knows this lie well. It sounds reasonable. It sounds kind even. Just 5 more minutes of rest. But here is what actually happens. When brain falls back asleep after the first alarm, it re-enters a sleep cycle. And waking up in the middle of a sleep cycle produces more sleep inertia than waking up at the end of one. So 5 more minutes doesn't give brain more rest. It gives brain a harder wake up and a foggier start. Every snooze makes the morning harder, not easier. The 5 more minutes lie is brain negotiating with itself using logic it doesn't actually have yet because the rational brain isn't awake. Lie 2. I'm too tired to do anything today. Brain feels the adenosine. Brain feels the low dopamine. Brain feels the cortisol spike. And brain concludes, I am fundamentally depleted. Today is a write-off. I should lower all expectations immediately. This feeling will pass, usually within 30 minutes, sometimes faster, but brain uses it to cancel the entire day before the day has technically begun. Lie 3. I need to check my phone first. Brain wakes up foggy and uncomfortable. The phone is right there, bright, stimulating, full of things. Brain reaches for it before the eyes are fully open, and this feels like easing into the morning, like a gentle start. It is the opposite. The moment brain opens social media, news, or messages, brain's stress system activates in response to everything it finds: someone's opinion, a notification that requires a response, a piece of news that makes brain anxious, someone else's life that makes brain feel behind. Brain has now spent its first waking minutes reacting to other people's reality before it has even established its own. The phone lie tells brain it is relaxing. The phone lie is actually just handing brain's first and freshest attention to everyone else. Lie 4. I don't have the energy for the things that matter. Low dopamine, high cortisol, foggy prefrontal cortex. Brain surveys what it wants to do today. The exercise, the creative work, the hard thing it has been putting off. And the chemistry says, not today. So brain replaces the meaningful things with easier things. Scrolling, watching, waiting, things that require nothing, things that produce nothing. And brain calls this easing in. It is not easing in. It is the low motivation morning chemistry choosing the day's direction before brain is functional enough to choose differently. Lie 5. This is just how I am in the mornings. This is the most dangerous lie, because this one sticks. Brain has had enough bad mornings that it now has an identity about mornings. I'm not a morning person. I never feel good when I wake up. Mornings are just hard for me. This identity makes the lie permanent. Every morning brain wakes up, feels the chemistry, and says, yes, this is correct. This is who I am. And then brain stops trying to do anything different. Because you don't fight your identity, you live inside it. But the identity was built from chemistry, not from truth. Here is what makes all of this matter. The morning is not just the start of the day, it is the frame for the day. Neuroscience calls this the primacy effect. The first inputs brain receives in any context carry disproportionate weight in shaping everything that follows. The first emotion brain feels in the morning primes what brain looks for the rest of the day. Start anxious. Brain finds reasons to stay anxious. Start defeated. Brain finds evidence of defeat. Start calm and clear. Brain finds opportunities. This is not motivation poster thinking. This is how the reticular activating system works. The reticular activating system is the part of brain that filters the enormous amount of information available at any moment and decides what brain notices. It is trained by what brain focuses on first. Feed it anxiety, first thing in the morning. It spends the day looking for threats. Feed it intention, movement, and clarity. It spends the day looking for solutions. The morning lie doesn't just ruin mornings. The morning lie sets the filter through which brain experiences everything until it goes to sleep again. That is why this matters. That is why brain needs to stop letting the worst chemistry of the day write the instructions for all the rest of it. Brain cannot stop the chemistry. The cortisol will spike. The adenosine will linger. The dopamine will be low. But brain can stop believing everything the chemistry says. Here is how. Step 1. The 5-second launch. The moment the alarm goes off, brain counts. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and gets up. Not because brain feels like it, not because brain is motivated, not because the chemistry agrees, because brain knows the chemistry is lying and movement is the fastest way to start making it tell the truth. Movement burns off excess cortisol. Movement clears adenosine faster. Movement triggers dopamine release. Brain doesn't wait to feel ready. Brain moves first. Feeling ready comes after, always after, never before. Step 2. No phone for the first 30 minutes. Brain's first 30 minutes are the most valuable neurological real estate of the entire day. The prefrontal cortex is coming online. Dopamine is starting to build. The reticular activating system is being calibrated. Brain does not hand that window to a social media feed. Brain uses it for something brain controls. Movement, water, light, silence, intention, anything that belongs to brain. The phone can wait 30 minutes. Everything on it will still be there, and brain will be in a completely different state when it arrives. Step 3. Light and water immediately. 2 of the fastest ways to clear sleep inertia: natural light, even through a window, signals the brain's circadian clock that it is time to be awake. This accelerates the shift out of sleep inertia and helps regulate cortisol properly. Water. The brain is mildly dehydrated after hours of sleep. Even mild dehydration slows cognitive function and worsens mood. Brain drinks water before anything else. Brain gets light within the first few minutes. These are not complicated. They are just things brain forgets to do because the lying chemistry makes it want to stay horizontal in the dark. Step 4. Do not make decisions in the first 20 minutes. Brain in the first 20 minutes should not be trusted with decisions. Not big ones, not even medium ones. Should I work out today? Do not answer this at 7 a.m. with low dopamine. The answer will be no. The real answer might be yes. Brain prepares its decisions the night before. The workout is already scheduled. The first task is already chosen. The morning is already designed. So when the lying brain wakes up and tries to renegotiate everything, there is nothing to negotiate. The decision was made by a more honest version of brain, and that version already won. Step 5. Name the lie out loud. When the morning thought arrives, the heavy one, the defeated one, the "today is already terrible" one, brain says, out loud or in its head, that is not information, that is chemistry. Not to dismiss the feeling, not to force positivity, but to create distance between the thought and the belief. The thought is real. The thought being true, that is optional. Brain learns to hear the morning lie the same way brain would hear advice from someone who just woke up, hasn't had water, and has their eyes half closed, with compassion, but not with full trust. Step 6. Move the body before talking to the mind. This is the most important one. Brain tries to think its way into feeling better in the morning. It doesn't work. The body leads, the mind follows. 5 minutes of movement, stretching, walking, anything, changes the chemical environment faster than any thought can. After 5 minutes of movement, cortisol starts regulating, adenosine clears faster, dopamine begins rising, the prefrontal cortex comes online, and suddenly, the thoughts change. Not because brain forced them to change, because the chemistry changed. And the chemistry changed because brain moved first instead of waiting to feel like moving. Brain has been running the morning lie for years, getting up late because the lie said rest, skipping the important things because the lie said no energy, starting every day reactive and behind because the lie handed the morning to the phone, the snooze, the fog, and brain called this being a bad morning person. But brain was never a bad morning person. Brain was just a person who had never learned that the first voice in the morning is the least reliable voice of the day. When brain stops trusting that voice, when brain moves before the lie has time to settle, the morning changes. Not immediately, not perfectly, but gradually, something shifts. Brain starts the day with something that belongs to it. A few minutes that no one else controlled, a first hour that wasn't reactive, a body that moved before the mind said no, and the filter changes. The reticular activating system, trained on intention instead of anxiety, starts finding different things. Opportunities instead of obstacles, energy instead of exhaustion, reasons to start instead of reasons to wait. The morning is not the enemy, the morning lie is the enemy. And brain, finally fully awake, knows the difference. Tomorrow morning, the alarm will go off, and the lies will come. They always come. 5 more minutes. Too tired. Today is already hard. Check the phone. This is just who I am. Brain will hear all of them. The difference now is that brain knows what they are. Not truth, not insight, not self-awareness. Chemistry, temporary, predictable, manageable chemistry. And brain has a choice. Believe the half-assembled, low dopamine, cortisol-spiked, prefrontal offline version of itself, or give it 20 minutes before deciding anything. The day doesn't have to start with a lie. It can start with a decision made by the brain that shows up after the chemistry clears. That brain is worth waiting for. What's the lie brain tells you most often in the morning? Drop it in the comments. Brain wants to know it's not alone. If this helped brain understand itself a little better, give this video a like and subscribe so brain never misses what comes next. Brain says thanks.